And then y'all put some, also.
How much you want on that, bud? You want 5 plates?
4. I'll hit this for a double. Start doing a little bit. And you can move that shit, Ed. I was just being trying to put my phone there, but it fucked the music.
Chris is getting ready for the Olympia. He's going up. What is that fella's name that you're going to destroy?
Jules Samaroha.
Yeah. Chris has won. How many times have you won the Olympia?
Twice.
Twice. How many times have you won the Arnold?
I haven't been in the Arnold.
Oh, that's right.
I won the Olympia twice. I just won Nationals a few weeks ago, the USPA Nationals. I got a best lifter there, and then qualified for the Olympia. Now I'm going to the Olympia.
So we've already had Bodybuilder's Reality. We've had Bodybuilding's Bad Boy. Now we've got
Deadlifting Reality.
And Powerlifter's Bad Boy, Chris Pappillion.
Chris Pappillion. All right. So we're going to do a little squatting session, exhibition here. We're going to shut up so Chris can focus as he continues to increase the weights.
He's going to show the definition of beast mode today.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Tighten this a little bit in.
Sure.
Huh?
Peanuts.
Yeah.
6 plates?
Huh? Nah, we'll just work up 5, 6.
You see what Chris is doing? He's warming up his nervous system, right?
That's it. Like people do reps for warm-ups. I just touch a weight just so I can feel it and just go up. There's no point in wasting energy. Because on a max effort, you need everything you have. For bodybuilding, you have to do reps. For powerlifting, you just want to basically get a sense of the central nervous system and feel the weight and move up. Because everything that you waste in a warm-up, you don't have it on the platform.
So who did you learn from? Or did you have a mentor with powerlifting?
I learned a lot from Gene Bell. Gene Bell's a legend, and so, you know, training with him. But to me, powerlifting is like a mixed martial art where you take a little bit from everybody you've learned from through the years and create your own style. Because just like boxing or football or any sport, not everything works for everybody. So you may have a training method that works for you, and it might not work for me. There might be a guy weaker than you. He teaches you something that makes you stronger. So you don't have to be the best powerlifter to teach somebody something. You can learn from something from Joe Blow that'll last you your whole life. So that's what I like about powerlifting, because you can take something from everybody. Just like Ed's world class, and then, you know, I teach Ed a few things and makes him a lot stronger. He's gained a lot in his strength the last few weeks. So it's just a learning process through years.
All right, we're gonna let you focus, man.
Plus he left out Ed Cohen. That's
Ed Cohen.
Oh yeah, Ed Cohen is my very favorite powerlifter of all time.
We've heard that name before.
A few times.
So Chris is known as the bad boy of powerlifting, from what I understand. So maybe he's going to drop some bombs on us here. He's focusing on, you know, working up to several hundred pounds. So we'll let him focus, but we'll also be listening in.
Are you gonna roll those up there? That belt being tight helps a lot, dude.
Yeah.
That latch belt's no advantage.
Didn't you squat 800 in here, Raw? Didn't? Yeah.
No, I'm about to do something crazy.
Yeah, I've seen him squat so heavy that you see how some guys get nosebleeds. This dude bleeds out the mouth. It looks pretty cool. You talk about like, it's just, to have that type of focus. But you know, if you're a power lifter, I mean, that weight's on your back. What are you gonna do? It's either gonna fall, which is not a big deal. You just set it on the rack, or you lift it.
Yeah. There's no regard. Kamikaze.
Kind of like in bodybuilding, if you show up looking like shit, like Lee used to tell me, don't show up looking like shit, Ed, then I'll be like, I don't know who the fuck he is.
A lot of it's just blood vessels, blood vessels, you know, being so tight, and then the pressure, it explodes. Most people, blood bleeds out of the nose. I've had it happen before. I learned from my brother Dave. Big Dave.
He's had plenty of blood
Oh my
bleeds.
God.
Yeah.
What's Dave's last name?
Shackley.
Okay, we haven't gotten him yet. But
That's one of my
these
best
days-
friends in the whole world.
Did you know him before you moved up here?
I grew up with,
He grew up in
we're from the same town.
Okay.
The first time I ever squatted 700 pounds, I was his workout partner, and I kept seeing him do it. And he just made it look so light and easy that eventually I'm like, man, I gotta try 6. I tried 6, a few weeks later, tried 7, and then it went from there. Dave is just a strong-willed person.
Yeah.
And a very smart guy, intelligent guy. And you know, he helped me a lot to get strong. And when you just witness somebody that's that strong in front of you, and they make it look so effortless, it pushes you to a next level because they take the limits away.
That's a good point.
Every fear you have is kind of closed in by the fact that this man's doing it with no problem.
Right. He's always, I think Big Dave is a power lifter first and then a bodybuilder, just because he loves to lift heavy. That's one of the,
I honestly think Dave's one of the strongest men in the world, and
Yeah.
he's just a pretty boy. So he'd rather look good on stage than win at powerlifting meets. So he don't want to risk getting hurt.
right.
Weights. Yeah.
Nice and warm up.
Mom felt good, dude. Walk back's good.
And that's interesting what he was teaching even on squatting, is saving your energy. You walk back
It is.
2 steps
Yeah.
and you squat, because if you waste energy,
Yeah.
and he's going to have a seminar. What's the date on your seminar for Overkill?
I just say, like on the squat here, I show them like a lot of people take a squat out and then they walk it back, and get way out here. To me, I try to cut down the walkout as much as possible, where you just take a deep breath and set. All you have to do is really clear the rack about 1 inch and the walkout's perfect. I think a lot of people don't really take focus on that, but when you're dealing with 700, 800 pounds, the shorter the walkout, the more sufficient your squat will be. So I concentrate on that a lot. Actually, Gene Bell's the one that taught me that. Just the squatting motion and getting out of the rack the best way you can with that much weight. You're not wobbly, you're set and stable and able to squat more. If you clear just 1 inch or 2, you have no path on the way down that's gonna hit you, especially in a competition rack. So, you know, I mean, you just want to dumb that down as much as possible. That's what gives the advantage on a monolift. A monolift, the racks come out right when you stand up, so people are able to get 40 to 60 more pounds. It's not the fact that they're able to get 40 to 60 more pounds, your legs are set in the same position. So you don't have to worry about it. When you have 900 pounds on your back and you set your feet, they're stuck there. So you can't really move them like you want with that much weight on your back, you know? But if you can set up and then just have the racks come out, then it gives you a definite advantage, and you set up with the same setup every time. Sometimes in a competition, you walk out and you have to squat there. The judge is giving you the squat command. I mean, so you have to be able to learn how to squat in different various positions, whether it's a 1/2 inch or 1 inch or whatever it is, you squat in that position. So it's kind of, you have to be strong at different angles and be confident also, you know? So if your feet are not set, you still have to say, hey, this is what it is, I'm about to take it down and get it, you know what I mean?
Similar to even a bench, he's talking about when you rest the weight, instead of holding it all on your triceps, you're saying squeeze your lats back.
Yeah, that's one of Main's main problems, that he doesn't lock out his arms completely, which gives him a disadvantage, and then he lets his elbows flare. So I'm just trying to teach him to keep him in. Ed's a way better bencher than me, but I still am way better technically than him. You know, so he's just that much stronger. I mean, his physical presence of an upper body makes me look little. So he's a very brute strong guy. He just has to learn those little techniques of getting your shoulder back, cutting down your range of motion, arching your back, getting your feet under you. You know what I mean? So I've been going through Ed, and also like he has a really big deadlift, but he uses straps at the top end. But when you have to grip the bar compared to a deadlift where you don't have to worry about your grip, it changes it. Because now all of your muscles are tight, having to grip the bar, compared to when a strap, you can just rip it as hard as you want. So that's one thing we're focused on. Ed has more talent than me, so he just needs somebody to show him what potential he has. You know, because I mean, you look at his legs and you look at my legs, I'm a little boy. So
I can't squat 800 pounds though. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, he can't squat 800 yet, so we don't get to work on that. He's hit PRs every time he's going to the gym with me now. These are overkill knee wraps, given to me by Rudy Rosales out of Chicago. He's my sponsor. I love these knee wraps. A lot of big guys use them now. Clint Smith, Brian Carroll, Chuck Vogelpool was in a video yesterday doing legend. Chuck Vogelpool, squat legend. Jason Coker's used these, squat 1,000 pounds.
Wasn't Hatfield the one, the first person to ever squat 1,000?
Yeah, Fred Hatfield.
Did he do it
easily?
Was it raw?
Huh? Damn near. I mean, the equivalent of the suit back then was a blast suit, thin layer, compared to now. Fred Hatfield is one of the top 5 squatters of all time, any weight class.
He's with ISSA too, our certain trainers.
But you got to remember, the bodybuilder that used to give him problems was Platts.
Oh yeah.
Him and Tom Platts would go to war, verbal wars, and they win a rep contest. I don't know, Platts and reps was probably just as good.
Right. Different muscle fibers. Yeah.
Stay close to this.
You got it.
I need to get down a little further.
You're just warming up.
I'll take 7 down further. Let's go 7 even.
You got it.
And this is also raw lifting. 3 weeks out from the geared meet. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
The Olympia's single ply. I've been training in my single ply overkill stuff. Ed said, hey man, we're gonna go raw tomorrow. I said, okay, cool. What you wanna see? What you wanna see? I always said the best thing about weightlifting is consistency and never giving up, because it's kind of a long race compared to a short-term race. You know, even like dealing with like the bad stuff of life, like alcoholism and drugs or anything that I've dealt with in my life, I always stayed in the weight room, where even in the path of other people, it veered them off track. So no matter what I was fighting through in my life, I always stayed in the weight room. You know what I mean? The next day, I would pick myself up and I would still get in there. And I think that's the longevity of stuff. We all fail, but it's how you get up, how you overcome it, and how you keep going. You know, because we all have bad parts of our life, but you have to be consistent in the dream. So some people are in jail, some people gave up, some people are no longer a part of the sport. I am, because I'm in here every day.
That's awesome.
And this is my outlet. You know what I mean? I was introduced to weightlifting when I was a little boy in a boys' home. There was this guy named Mike Deo. He was our in-camp counselor, and he had these big muscles. And I always looked up to him like, man, how do you get those? And he was just like, you know, I work out. So he started teaching me things. And I remember in the boys' home, I would be like, man, I want to be like Dorian Yates one day. I want to go to the Olympia, and I want to compete like that. And you know, 20-something years later, I'm going to my 3rd Mr. Olympia as a powerlifter, not a bodybuilder. I've won twice, so
You know, I still want him to do a bodybuilding show just because I still think powerlifters have a certain type of denseness to their bodies from the heavier
The truth is I beat him on the powerlifting meet, so he wants to beat me in the bodybuilding. That's the truth, though. He's gonna get his revenge on me somehow. So yeah, Chris, you should do a bodybuilding show, man. Yeah, don't worry, you're in my weight class.
Come for breakfast.
Hey, don't worry, you're in my weight class, buddy. No big deal.
So how old were you? Last question. When you were in the boys' home and this guy made an impression on you with the big muscles, how old were you?
I was 12 years old at that time. So I was young, and even through like a prison sentence and the stuff that I went through later in life, I had an aggravated assault case where I served 5 years in prison. I remember getting out of prison and telling people I'd be a top weightlifter, and they were like, man, there's no way, you know what I mean? But what you stand in the mirror and tell yourself is usually the outcome that you have. So I just keep having confidence through all my failures, you know what I mean?
That's inspiring.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, too, I think you also have the ability to motivate people, dude.
Yeah, he's definitely got that. That's kind of oozing out.
The first meet we had, you know, I could just tell he was there helping. There was even a client I had that was still learning how to bench. He benched his body weight. He had like 2 1/4 on there. He was getting stuck. He's like, you need to do this with your elbows. He ended up getting his 3rd lift. He was paying attention to everybody, trying to help him.
Just true passion.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And then when we got to deadlifts, of course, he was, you better get your opener, baby. You better get your opener. You better get it. You better get it. Just then even
slacked on bench that day, though.
It seems like he makes it a lot of fun.
450.
That's something like, yeah, that's what you told me. I should.
And then I think he went like, he smoked it, man. He just, when Ed don't listen when it's time, like this last meet he had me, he would have beat me. I said, Ed, go 480. And then Ed goes like 473. I ended up beating him by 1 pound. If he would have listened to me on his last bench, I wouldn't have got him. I beat him, we did a push-pull and I beat him by 1 pound. So it
was 1 pound.
1 pound. He had it on his bench. He did his last bench easily.
But then
I said, man, Ed, you're going to have to listen to me. Take the 2nd place trophy home right now. Think about what you did. Next time, listen to me.
The 2nd place trophy weighs 1 pound.
Yeah, now you go home and think about this.
That's funny.
You really think I had that much more in it?
Yeah, I think you had 493 at least.
493?
493 at least.
Wow. He's pretty good about guessing. When he gives people what they can do.
That's 675, 685, yeah. That's a 55-pound bar. That's 700 even.
700 even.
As his favorite bodybuilder says, those English plates are heavier than the American ones.
That's probably why they kill us. The Russians don't even make sense.
Oh, like Oleg? You ever met him? That Olympic weightlifter that trains here?
Oleg?
Oleg Ketchko? Clean and jerk 450 over his head. Whenever he was.
Big guy?
He's about this tall. You know those Olympic weightlifters, they're all traps and big legs. I still wish they had powerlifting in the Olympics.
They've been trying to get it, just the whole issue on the performance stuff.
Ah, I got you. Yeah, but I mean, isn't that the same with bodybuilding why they couldn't get it in there? And then they even did the drug testing 1 year and the guys still look good.
I mean, anything is performance. You see them make track and field, so what's the difference?
Right.
You know what I mean? So we all gonna try to get an edge eventually.
Right.
Either you're trying to get better or you're trying to decline. I'd rather get better.
Right.
You got it. Come on here.
Wait, baby, come on.
Come on here.
Come on. Get it. Get it. Come on, bury it. I got you. Up. Yeah, buddy. Come on. Barely even touched something. How'd that feel?
Good. Pull 7. Go ahead and pull 7.
You want to do deadlift now? Or?
Yeah. Man, it's kind of crazy because on some lifts it's kind of therapy where like you think about your whole life, like everything that makes you mad, everything that you've ever been through, and everything that you want to accomplish at one time. You know what I mean? It's kind of, it echoes. Or you can think of like my mother. There's one thing I think about is my mom's mother's funeral, where she's burying my mother and but her mother, and you know, she looks into the coffin and she sees my grandmother there, and you know, at that point she has a dream, and that dream's unattainable because she'll never bring her mother back again. So all of our dreams are in front of us right now. You can either take them or run from them, and that's what I think about, just certain failures in life and everything, you know, because we all have a goal or something that we want to achieve, but we all been through a lot, you know, and so sometimes we want to give up, but you have to keep going no matter what, you know. So that's why I say powerlifting is therapy to me. It's counseling. You know, it's more than just a sport. It's something I do to maintain, something I do to feel better. So,
have you ever taken time away from it and say, man, that was a mistake, I need to get back?
I kind of lose myself if I take time away from my love and passion.
Yeah.
I kind of lose myself. I become something that I'm not.
Yeah.
I become distant from my dreams. That's why, like, when certain football players, you know, are not playing football anymore, they kind of go into a depression. They kind of rely on drugs. They kind of, you know, later in their life, who are they? You know what I mean? You've been this identity for so long, and now who are you as a person? Everything's changed, you know what I mean? So, but I just love this sport, man. Like it's a passion, man. It's something you grow up in. I've been competing since I was like 14 and 15 years old. So that's almost 20 years in the sport, through all kinds of trials and tribulations. So I worked up to a 700-pound raw squat. I'm actually like 2 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia. Ed said, hey man, why don't you come do something raw for Scott Yard tomorrow? I said, okay man, we'll see what I can do. And hit 700, worked up. After that, we're gonna do some deadlifts, work up to around 7, both stances, and work in. And you know, it's just concluding a day of raw training with Ed Brown.
That's right. You gotta come to the gym sometime. Come with us if you want to lift.
You got to come up with that, man. You got to come up with one of those things. So one other question. So Chris, do people have a way to get a hold? Is there a website that you want people to go to, or you want to talk about that maybe another time?
Yeah, I do have a seminar. It'll be here October 11th. It's on Facebook, or Raw Talent Athletics, and they can go there. And me and Ed will be going over different powerlifting techniques and stuff, and helping everybody with, you know, training techniques and this and that. So, you know, they can come check it out over here and get to work.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for letting us check out your training. We'll see you real soon.
All right, thank you, man, for the opportunity.
My client that was Jewish taught me that joke. So.
Okay. There you go. That was nice. Nice to Ed. So we're actually in my garage gym on this